Hi guys, this is James from DBG and welcome to another video. This one, as you can see, is a showcase video. It's been just over a week and the Emperor's Children are complete. You may notice a couple of different things. First of all, Mr. Saltavitz doesn't have a bald head anymore. Someone in the comments or on Facebook noted that he did have a full head of hair, which he did. I remember it from the novels very well. So I just popped off his head and put on a spare. That's actually a Tartarus Terminator helm. And then next to him we have another character model. I was going through my bits box and I found a couple of just random Mark IV Marines lying around. So I thought I'd make a second character. So he is the Legion champion, and we'll have a look at him in a minute. There's quite a lot of kit bashing on that one gone around. But yeah, so as you can see, everything is painted in glorious purple, white and gold. I am waiting to see if eBay can come up with some Emperor's Children decals, the 4-drawer decal sheet, which the 4-drawer don't do anymore, which is really annoying. But I did find a couple on eBay, and unfortunately they were in America, and with postage it would have cost over £40, which is ridiculous for something that would only cost me around £18 with postage from the UK. So here's hoping that I can find the decal sheets. So none of the guys have any markings whatsoever, which, you know, I mean, upside or downside, but I just want to use the decals because I'm actually quite proficient with the decals and the decal softener to make it conform to the curvature of shoulder pads and what have you. So I also noticed, sorry, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent. I also noticed in the other video I meant to talk about the kit bashing I did on Saltavitz, the parts I used to make basically his bolter, because in the rules he has a modified bolter which counts as a sniper rifle. So I was going to talk about the parts I used for that in the previous video, but I didn't. So we'll do it in this video. But just to remind everyone, we will go from left to right. We have a squad of 10 Tartarus Marines. In there you will find 2 Reaper autocannon, a plethora of lightning claws, because they are awesome at carving up Marines. Yes, I know in Heresy games there is actually an awful lot of 2+ armor saves, but if these guys probably end up going to go hunting tactical squads and stuff like that, because you still need stuff like that to do Heresy games. At the back there we have the 1st tactical squad with the sergeant with the power fist. At the front here we have Lucius the Eternal, Saltavitz, and the Legion champion, which I haven't named yet. We have Rylanor the Unyielding, the kit bashed Contemptor Dreadnought, another squad of tactical marines there. This time the sergeant has a power sword, and at the back we have the Legion support squad with 9 plasma guns, which is going to ruin a squad of Terminator's day. Right, so let's talk about Mr. Saltavitz. See if I can get this to focus without... There we go. Obviously this is the chaplain model from Betrayal at Calth. And by kit bash all I did was snip off the ornament on the back of his power pack. Added, I believe that's the sword from a Tartarus onto the handle of his Crozius, because in the game he has a charnable broadsword, which is not a particularly good weapon. You do need to roll 6s to win to get extra goodness, but still. As I said, there's the head from the Tartarus Marines, and then there's the bolter. The bolter is literally just the melter part from the combi melter and the telescopic sight from a Stalker bolt rifle, which I think works really well as a modified bolter. And down here we have the unit, the Legion champion. I thought I'd give him bald head, and the face is very arrogant is the word I'm going to use, and he looks very Emperor's Children-y. So he's armed with a Volkite charger, which is basically a death ray for anybody who doesn't know what they are, and it's actually from Tartarus, so the hand is actually a bit big. So I came up with the backstory that he lost his hand in a duel, and he has a bionic hand. And then the Phoenix Power Spear is actually Thunderhammer from the Mark III Marines. I had some bits left in my bits box, and that is the blade from some one of these ancient cultists from Warhammer Quest. The one that was, yeah. So I just chopped that off. I was lying in my bits box from a job I did a few years ago, so we have now a Phoenix Power Spear. Now we're on to Rylanor, the Unyielding. Go on, focus. There we go. These plastic consumptive dreadnoughts are quite static, and they're good enough. They work, and they have a good selection. Well, they have a multi-melter that carries assault cannon and a fist, and you can, with a razor saw, do a little bit of modification to make. If you have two of these kits, you can have two. You have twin carries, autocannon, twin multi-melters, or twin fists, because the shoulder part is actually symmetrical. So you can just use a razor saw to cut there, turn it round, and then you can stick it on the other side. So there you go. And I'll also cut along there. So we have the torso turning. Again, I'm waiting for decals for him. Now, we're not going to look at everything. I'm just going to look at a few of the miniatures I thought came out really well. So here is the Sergeant. Focus. Come on. There we go. Here's the Sergeant for the Tartarus. These are really... The problem with these guys is they're very flat. There's not a lot of things to edge highlight on. As you can see, I've done a little bit. Trying to exaggerate the top of the armour plating there and around the thigh parts, but the problem with Tartarus armour is it's quite flat. And here we go, here we have a guy with a Reaper autocannon, and obviously with a full 10-man squad you have two heavy weapons in, so I went for two Reaper autocannons. And then we're going to go and look at this guy because I love the studs on him. Obviously lightning claws there for ripping apart tactical marines. We're going to have a look at the tactical sergeant with the power fist. I decided to use quite a bit of white just to break up all the yellow. And the eyes are just a little bit of Orthwan grey and then some Gilliman blue glaze just to give it a blue tinge. Now if we look at this guy, this is the whole of that squad. I've used Mark III chainswords to represent this squad. Actually is armed with bolters, bolt pistols and chainswords, so in Heresy they still get an additional attack for two close combat weapons when they charge, and obviously an additional attack for charging as well. So a normal marine has 3 attacks and a sergeant has 4. Well, he won't have 4 because he's got a power fist, but this other sergeant will have 4. And the other sergeant we're going to look at right now. So he's armed with power sword and a bolt pistol, so he will have 4 attacks on the charge. And then here we have the sergeant of the Legion Support Squad. Again, I've got a bit of white on him just to pull him off. I didn't think he'd have a plume with all the plasma flying about, a bit of a fire risk. So he's got a combi plasma and a power fist. Now then, we're just going to look at this guy because I think his stance is just nonchalantly, I'm going to shoot you in the face and melt it off. Again, I love the studs. I will always use the shoulder pads with studs on and things like that. So there we go. That is my 30k Imperial Fist army. It now sits at 1673 points. I'm still planning. I keep writing different lists to try and make up to. I think I'm going to round this off around 2,500 points. That's enough to get, like I said, a Sakaran, because I love this Sakaran, a Land Raider, and a few other bits and bobs. I think I'm going to go for a few purely Heresy Forge World kits, like a Leviathan, or maybe those new land speeders, which are Marmite, but I really do like the new land speeders because they are. They remind me of the land speeders I first bought when I first started doing 40k way back in the late 80s. So yeah, so that is my Emperor's Children. I have the 30k bug. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. The 30k bug has bitten me massively, and I am scrolling through YouTube, watching loads of videos, loads of battle reports, trying to work out what Legion I'm going to do next. Obviously, it's going to have to wait because I'm still, a bit poor is wrong. I'm very poor at the moment due to things that have happened which are out of my control. Anyway, so when things sort of says out again, I'm thinking of another Legion. Oh, not the tripod. So I'm going to put this out to the masses. So in the comment section, write down what you put down what you like me, what you think I should do from this list of legions that I'm thinking of doing. Obviously Blood Angels, because they're new and shiny, and the new models are fantastic. Space Wolves, because I have a 40k Space Wolf army, and it kind of makes sense. And believe it or not, after a lot of soul searching and stuff, looking at the Forge World models and what have you, Ultramarines, because I have this thing in my head about those breaches, and the book Betrayal by Aaron Dembski Bowden, carrying on the story of Khan the Bloody and Argital. I do recommend you read that. His two books are those, First Heretic and Betrayer. Brilliant, they're brilliant. They attack a Ultramarines world, and there's a scene in the book where the World Eaters are charging against a well-disciplined Ultramarine breacher line. All the shields are locked, they've got their bolters, they've got their swords over the top. It's like a proper... Have you seen Last Kingdom and they shout shield wall? That's what it's like. You've got these berserker World Eaters charging, and they bounce up against this wall, and it's just really cinematically written, and it's fantastic. I've got that image in my head, and I really think that would be an awesome thing to do. So that, so that's what I've got going on in my head. So, as usual, guys, please check out our affiliates. That's Goblin Gaming, White Shark Gaming. Also, check out our local gaming shop, which is the Grumpy Goblin. I know lots of goblins. Also, don't forget to check out our Facebook and Instagram. Link should be in the description. And as usual, guys, oh yes, do all the YouTube stuff. I always forget that. Do all the YouTube stuff. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share this about. We'd like to get this channel up to 2,000 subscribers this year, which would be very cool. So, as usual, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.